Hello, welcome to the Long Island Weather Update. It's about 9:30. We got a lot to talk about. Again, another busy day, August 6th. A lot of rain has fallen, and we're still dealing with more rain. And we got started off with a batch of showers, and more like a line of thunderstorms that kind of slowly worked its way from the middle of the island to the south shore, and then it really blew up over the south shore of Suffolk. So, of course, we got about 1.5 inches from that first batch of rain in Mineola, and it caused quite a bit of flooding in Mineola in certain areas. You can see here, there's a drain clogged. And I tell you, with the Mineola, we just don't have very good drainage here, which isn't a surprise. And then I took the train to Babylon, and then we got greeted with when that line, it was not much lightning, but once it reached the south shore of Suffolk, all of a sudden severe thunderstorms popped up in the southwestern Suffolk, and we were under a severe thunderstorm warning in Babylon, and there were a lot of clouds, ground lightning bolts. These are the ones I was able to capture here. I have a video as well, which you'll see, but these are the lightning bolts I was able to capture here. And like I said, they were pretty spectacular. This one in particular was nice because this one literally, this was probably a positive strike. You could see it kind of going back and forth a little bit. So pretty crazy storm, and a lot of close lightning strikes with that storm. That just kind of popped up out of nowhere. So actually, we're going to go to the radar. We're going to rewind the radar and show you what happened earlier, and then we'll talk about what's going on right now. You can see the rainy mess that we have over us. Nothing severe. Well, maybe there is some stuff that's severe over Philadelphia. But let's go back to around 2 o'clock. And you can see here these thunderstorms just popped up, a line of showers and thunderstorms with not much lightning. Just kind of popped up over the middle of the island. But then around 4 o'clock, it blew up around Babylon. Right here. Here's Babylon. It blew up just south of Babylon. And Lindenhurst, Massapequa. This whole area just blew up. And you can see here, 4 o'clock, you can see we had a very severe thunderstorm there. A lot of lightning, and it just kind of hung around until it slowly started passing off to the south as we got toward after 5 o'clock or so. But very, very intense storm, and you'll see the video of that in a little bit. So let's look at. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I make a lot of mistakes. I do apologize. So we do have rainfall reports. But here we go. That's the briefing, but I want to see if we can have some storm reports as well. No, not that one. Let's see if we have any storm reports. I mean, they have rainfall reports, but I want to see some storm reports as well. So let's see what we have here. Flash floods being reported in Locust Valley. Multiple vehicles being stuck in the waters there. Flash flood in Clifton, Passaic County. Flash flood in Englewood. I guess that most of these are flooding reports, not wind reports. Flash flood in Bayside. I'll go to the compilation one, all right? So, no, not the briefing. So let's go to the latest rainfall reports. So you can see that there were a lot of flash floods being reported all over the place from this. And these are the rainfall amounts so far. Yeah, parts of Connecticut over 2 inches already. Look at Bogota in Bergen County, 4.26 inches. Some areas really got hammered. Maplewood, almost 3 inches of rain. Passaic County, Charlton Reservoir, 2.24. Let's go to Long Island here and look at the Bronx, first of all. Fordham, 4.61 inches. Now, I'm wondering if Metro North got suspended because they always have an issue with flooding. Let's see if they wound up getting suspended at all. Just delays, because I know sometimes they have flooding. And we're still having delays on the Babylon branch due to earlier signal trouble near Massapequa. I think it finally got resolved, but that's a crazy amount of rain. In Nassau County, Port Washington, 3.51 inches. Muttontown, 3.03 inches. Great Neck, 2.41 inches. Mineola, 1.67. As you had your Massapequa Park, 1.27. Meanwhile, Central Park, a lot of these storms missed the city, only 0.63. In Suffolk County, the south shore, southwest of Suffolk County, West Islip, 3.21 inches. Dix Hills, 3.18 inches. Islip Airport, that area also got hit hard, 2.36 inches. And we're not done yet. It's still raining out there. So we're going to go now to the radar and take a look at what we got going on here. And you can see what looks like a rainy mess pretty much over us, although there are some embedded thunderstorms in this rainy mess. Probably not producing all that much thunder and lightning. Let's go and look at the high-resolution one. Oh, yeah. You can see we still got flash flood warnings in effect for parts of the North Shore into North Shore of Nassau into Suffolk County. Look at all these flash flood warnings. I have never seen that many around. Look at this. They're in Patterson, Edison, a lot through central Jersey into Philadelphia. We got flash flood warnings as well as a flash flood warning along the Jersey Shore from Toms River up northward. Oh, man. I tell you, absolutely nuts. What's going on? Oh, all right. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I'm tired. So let's look at this radar here. And we got more. Yes, this is where another line is coming down here. And this line's probably heading for the Jersey Shore. We'll have to see if this holds together. We'll have to see if there's a decent amount of lightning with this. Let's go to the lightning map. Nah, it's not too much light area. Yeah, there is lightning with the cell around Trenton and Philadelphia. But other than that, not a whole lot of lightning going on. Not like what we had earlier, for sure. Oh, I don't know why I'm yawning so. I'm tired. Storm's kind of dreamy here. All right. I got to talk about Debby and all this. That's kind of overwhelming, I guess you could say. So let's look at the satellite image today. It kind of tells the story here. Yep, here's your stall frontal boundary. Here's Debby down here, Tropical Storm Debby. So let's go take a look at that. You can see here, there's Debby trying to get reemerge. It's going right along the coast almost. You can see, though, it's trying to reemerge out of the water. Still a tropical storm. Let's go to the latest from the Hurricane Center, because it's still a tropical storm right now. Center of Debby now offshore off the coasts of Georgia and South Carolina. Major flood threat for portions of the southeastern United States this week. And they've gotten, if you think we got a lot of rain, we're going to show you the rainfall totals in a minute that they've gotten down in South Carolina. As of 8 p.m., its location is 31.8 north, 8.6 west, about 30 miles southeast of Savannah, Georgia, and about 85 miles south-southwest of Charleston, South Carolina. Maximum sustained winds 40 miles an hour. Winds aren't a big factor, but look at the movement here. It's only moving east-northeast at 3 miles an hour. So that is the big issue that we have right now, is just the slow movement and all the rain that this thing is dumping. And we'll go to the track here, and you'll see eventually it will move back. It might make a second landfall Thursday and then move inland and then become a depression. You can see they're kind of tracking the core of it off to the west. And that has implications for us, because that might mean we're not going to get in. We may be getting heavier rain from this stall front than from Debby. So you can see all the heavy rain that we have here on the radar, showers and thunderstorms going into Pennsylvania. And then here's Debby. And you can see these showers and thunderstorms kind of going over the same areas. You can see some of these feeder bands, too, coming into even North Carolina now. So let's look at the rainfall totals so far. We're going to go back to the weather and hazards map, and we're going to look at the rainfall totals in this area. And you can see still tropical storm warnings in effect, flash flood warnings. Look at all these hazards here. And tornado watch, too, because some of these showers and thunderstorms, and the whole eastern seaboard dealing with flood advisories and flood warnings and flood watches. And what a mess. So let's look and see how much rain has fallen so far. We'll first look at this area here. And I'm going to, let's just take that shading down a little bit. And you can see the winds aren't that strong. It's mainly about the rainfall. So we're going to look at precipitation. Let's take a look and see what's fallen in the past 24 hours so far. And you can see here some of these areas in eastern North Carolina. Charleston, which is in a state of emergency. 10 inches of rain. This is in the past 24 hours. They take it back to 48 hours. Yeah, a foot of rain, and it's still raining there. So, yeah, this is what you're dealing with in these areas. It's absolutely insane. Look at these rainfall amounts. I mean, this is crazy. There's a lot of flooding going on. State of emergencies here. You can see where it stopped. You can see all the rainfall in northern Florida, too. Look at that. Some 20-inch amounts. 25.92. 23 inches being reported at Bethia State Forest. I mean, this is insane. 2 feet of rain. Gainesville, so southeast of Gainesville, 13.44 inches in the past 48 hours. This is an insane amount of rain, and that's why you're seeing all this flooding going on. It's absolutely nuts. It really is. Now let's go into our area. Take a look at the rainfall totals, and I'm going to be doing 24 hours here. So you can see where the heavier rain has fallen. So it looks like the North Shore really got hit hard. Port Washington, 4.29. Yeah, the North Shore of Nassau got hit harder than we did because they got that second thunderstorm, which was even more intense. And you can see nothing crazy for central Nassau. Let's see, Mineola, what have we got in Mineola? There was a report on a Wonder Map that showed 1.5 inches. Sorry, 1.19. We didn't get the worst of it. Look at all the flooding we got to deal with, even though we didn't get hit that hard. I mean, this is, again, this is what happened here in Mineola. So that's just from an inch to an inch and a half of rain in an hour. All right. Things were far worse as we head into this area, 1.46, and I think there's some higher amounts in there, too. We're going to have to go to the Wonder Map. 3.21 in Babylon, I believe it. 2.25, 3.48 in Dix Hills. So Suffolk County, 2.50 at Islip. Suffolk really got hit hard. 1.44 in Hop Hog. But then as you head out east, yeah, Ridge only got 0.22 inches of rain. And as you head out to the east end, some areas got 1.24 in East Hampton, but a lot of areas didn't. As we go into these harder hit areas here where these flood warnings are, you can see 3.43 inches, 3.80 inches in West Orange, 3.38 in, I don't know where that is, Lyons. So these areas really got hit hard here with a lot of rain. You can see as we go throughout New Jersey, you can see Sayreville, 2.50 inches. And then along the Jersey Shore, Long Branch, 3.66 inches of rain, 3.71 inches of rain. Making your way down into Point Pleasant, 2.33 inches of rain. And also, northern part of Toms River. This is the northern part of Toms River, showing 3.48, 3.65, 3.03. Meanwhile, that's only showing 0.0. We'll have to get some more numbers from this area, but see 2.4, 2.2, 2.9. There's a lot of, so I don't know where Miller Air Park is. All right, 1.06 being reported over here in Lakehurst. But this area really got hit hard north of Toms River. It was really, really just intense over there. And before the rains came, it was hot and it was very humid too. So first of all, the highs across Long Island, mid-80s generally, but 91 at LaGuardia, 89 at Central Park. And then definitely a lot more heat in Jersey where they were dealing with mid-90s. So that was fuel for the storms. But even over Long Island, they kind of exploded. There was just a lot of humidity in the air, you know. If we go and we look at the kind of humidity we had today, you'll see dew point's now down to 70 at Farmingdale. And you'll notice the wind has shifted off to the east. But earlier on, dew points were very high, well up into the 70s. And look at how you even had some upper 70s there. And I know Islip came close to, let's see what Islip has. Islip, I think Islip had like a 79-degree dew point when I did my update earlier. You'll see the dew points earlier at Islip. Yeah, 77. I mean, really high. Very high dew points. And that's what fuels this. Kind of curious what Toms River had as far as, I don't know why we don't have Miller Air Park for rainfall totals. I guess they don't take rainfall totals there, which is a shame. Let's see if we can get that on the screen, or maybe not. All right, so let's see what they have for dew points, because they Yep, they were up there too. Dew points in the mid 70s. This is really, just really, and look at that. 93 with a dew point of 75. Felt like it was in the hundreds. I mean, they could have used another heat advisory there in Jersey today. That's how bad it was. Oh, man, I tell you. So, yeah, it's just crazy. You see, though, the easterly wind starting to take over now. As this front slowly sags to the south. Pretty crazy stuff, though, I gotta tell you. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy stuff that we've seen today. So I want to just go over the rest of the country here for you. I mean, just briefly, you can see heat advisory in the south. Still got red flag. Oh, boy, we got these all red flag. An excessive heat warning now for the southwest. They're dealing with some heat over there. Let's see if that includes Flagstaff. I think it does. Does it? No, it doesn't. Let's see. Flagstaff at 66. They got up to 88 today. No, that does not include Flagstaff. But some of these other areas, yeah, 111 and 29 Palms. I mean, it's, Blythe got up to 115 today. And look, it's humid. For them, that's humid. The dew point 67. That's humid for them. So that means that's gonna and there's haze being reported. So I'm wondering if there's a fire around there, perhaps. We got all these excessive heat, and then red flag warnings into Wyoming. Oh man, I tell you, just quality alerts, all that stuff. We'll go ahead and we'll go back to our satellite imagery here. Well, before I do that, let me go to the Wonder Map. Yeah, you can see I'm just weary from all the storms. I'm sorry, but I'm tired. I don't have the energy for all this stuff. But it needs to be talked about. So yeah, here are the rainfall totals. So you can see highly variable depending on where you were here. Some areas got a lot. Look at 2.81 in Salisbury. 1.4 in Williston Park. So highly variable rainfall totals. Depending on where you were. Yeah, Port Washington, yeah, they got hit hard. And Glen Cove, too. Yeah, the other site didn't even have it. Look, it's over 4 inches of rain. In some parts of Glen Cove, 4.5 inches of rain. That's insane. That's insane right there. And then as you go into Massapequa, also over 2 inches of rain in this area by Sunrise Mall, stretching through Amityville into Copeg and Lindenhurst, where you saw over 2 inches of rain as well. 1.47 in that's another site that shows 1.47 in Babylon, and Sayville also to over 2 inches there. See the South Shore of Suffolk, really the South Shore of Suffolk into Central Suffolk in this area around Ronkonkoma, over 2 inches of rain as well. But then as you head out east, it just kind of falls off. Now let me look at another area. Let's go look at Toms River, another area we just weren't getting a whole lot of observations here. Hard to believe Holiday City only 0.75. Well, hard to believe only 0.46 in Toms River itself. But then as you go to the north, boom, look at that. Look at the difference here. So you go from here, and then you go up to here, Pleasant Plains, which is in the northern part of Toms River, 4.2 inches of rain. North Dover, 3.48. So there's a stripe where these storms just sat in this small area, and that stretches out into Silverton, 3.32, Brick Township, 3.75. That stretches all the way out. It's crazy stuff, I'm telling you. Absolutely crazy stuff. Just the difference is you go a couple of miles, and it's like, because these storms are localized. That's the thing. They're very localized. All right, let's go and look at some more satellite images here. We'll go to the CONUS view. Kind of show everything going on. Here's Debby. There's your stalled front. So this is your stalling cold front. This is Debby. And it looks like these fires in California really flared up here. Northern California, Oregon. Let's go out there. So some areas are just getting way too much rain, and some areas aren't getting enough. And this is all predicted, as we deal with climate change. Fires and floods is going to be the biggest things. You're going to have more fires and more floods. So let's go to the Pacific Northwest. I'm going to find Pacific Northwest. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, this is not good. So, well, 36 frames here. Yeah, that park fire is still going, and then we have more fires in Oregon, and also Idaho as well. We still got fires there. Oh, man, I tell you, it's ridiculous. Can also look at the Pacific Southwest, too, if I want. Let's see if we have any smoke over there. It gives us another look at these fires in California. Look at that. Look at that park fire. It's still going. It's crazy. And yeah, you got a lot of fires going on in Idaho right now. That's for sure. So I'm not surprised that some stations out there would report reduced visibility. And then we'll go look at southeastern Alaska view. See what's going on over here. We still have that fire in British Columbia, too. And, oh, look at all these fires going on here in Northwest Territories as well. Wow, that's bad. So, it just never ends, I'm telling you. Seeing the world fall apart. This is all predicted, man. This is all predicted. Nobody shack surprised. Anyway, so many things to watch. So let's look at the GFS now. And here's our low pressure system, our Debby here that is going to move offshore, and then it could strengthen a little bit. This is the GFS. It doesn't have it getting that far offshore, so it doesn't have it re-strengthening that much. But then it moves into South Carolina, and then eventually gets picked up by the trough and lifted northeastward here. All right. Now there's more of a consensus on the models. I think they're agreeing. Well, hopefully we're going to look at them, and we're going to. You can see that because the ridge always winds up being stronger than the models expect. You can see the heaviest rain is now expected to go to our west. You can see that there. And we're going to get into some of the heavier rain probably Friday into Saturday, probably. All right. That's the GFS. Let's go to the icon next, which is, again, stronger with the storm and still it strengthens it. The icon strengthens it more. Has it going to South Carolina. But you can see they pretty much agree on the track now. So we have the models agreeing on the track. There's still some variations in with intensity, but we have an agreement on the track here. What's going to happen? Here's the European, and then it takes the heaviest rain now into Pennsylvania, and we're on the right side of the storm, but we may have to worry about some strong winds being on the right side of that storm. And the Euro is really fast and gets it out of here by... We would wind up having a decent day on Saturday if the European is right. So, total rainfall accumulations. Let's do the total rainfall accumulations right now. And you can see now that we run this, you can see that the heaviest rain is now a little more off to the west over Pennsylvania here. All right, let's run the icon here as well. Icon almost looks exactly like the Euro, doesn't it? Well, let's look at the GFS. GFS looks a little different, but you can see the general trend here. And unfortunately, they're still going to be getting more rain in. They're not done yet with the rain in eastern North Carolina, southern South Carolina, and also parts of Georgia as well. Dealing with it all. So let's. I know it's crazy, guys. It really is. So let's look at some of these shorter range models now. We go to eastern U.S. here. Let's look at the HRRR. And this, by the way, is the 0Z HRRR rainfall amounts. And you'll see here, again, another possible. It's saying another. This is as of the 8 o'clock run. Another 20 inches could fall in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And Charleston. These areas are devastated. They're underwater. They're under state of emergencies. A lot of people getting rescued. It's a terrible disaster over there. And again, we can go to x.com and I'll show you Debby here. So here we go. Here's a look at the flood there. You can sort of see it. That's the kind of stuff they're dealing with. People being evacuated. Well, I'll tell you, I don't know. Let's see what we got. It's nuts. You can see lots and lots of flooding. A shark is swimming on Highway 26 in Charleston. So the water has taken over a lot of these areas. Flooding in Savannah, too, as well. And then there's been transmission damage from Debby when it... I'm not even going to... I already shared some of that already. I'm not going to get into that. I've talked about it enough. Let's go to this now. All right, so... You can see here's the HRRR. You can see after the showers today, we get a little break tomorrow. And then the moisture from Debby starts moving in a little bit on us on Thursday. You can see the center of it there coming into finally it may wind up getting enough over water that it might make a second landfall. I don't think it's going to reach a hurricane status again at this point. But you can see just how slow things are moving. All right, and again, it's all. If we go to the upper again, I'll go to the GFS here. You see there's that blocking ridge, but then that lifts, and when that lifts, this trough picks it up and pulls it out. That's the GFS. GFS is slow with it, whereas the European has a different look, and it's faster. So, anyway, let's go to our local region. We'll go back to the HRRR, and actually, no, not yet. Let me go back to Eastern U.S. here, because I want to use some other parameter that the GFS has. So let's go to that. Also, notice all this vorticity here. All right, as well. That's interesting as well. It will lose that as it eventually gets more inland. But take a look at this. This is kind of the story here. Look at all the green. That's your precipitable water. This was a little misleading here, a little bit delayed here on the precipitable water for today. But take a look at all the precipitable water here that we have. So you can see we're in it. Start to get some drawing on Wednesday. And then we start moistening things up on Thursday. And then we're going to have a lot of precipitable water in the atmosphere as we head into Saturday. And you can see the general deal of what's going to happen here. All right, now let's go to the HRRR model here. 0Z. We still got the 0Z on the screen, so we'll show you what's going to happen tonight. Obviously, we have the showers. Don't think we'll see any more severe weather, just rain. And then for tomorrow, I think we'll see somewhat improving conditions. There's still the chance for a possible light shower, perhaps early afternoon. There could be. And then for Thursday, you could see a batch coming in right there of some rain around. And this would mainly be light rain, nothing severe around the afternoon. So we're going to have chances for rain the next couple of days. It won't be as crazy as today was, but it definitely will be. You'll have to keep the umbrella around and just pay attention, look at the radar, and see. I mean, it shouldn't be anything too heavy, but there is going to be rain in the forecast. Not much sunshine, I don't think. This is, again, what the HRRR is showing. So we'll do dew points and wind flow, kind of show you the front here. So you can see the stalled front that's in our area, all right? And it tries to sink south. We start to see a little drying tomorrow, and northeasterly winds. The dew points actually come down to the low 60s, so it'll actually feel a lot better with that northeast wind. Too bad there'll be some showers around, and then it becomes more east, and then the atmosphere starts moistening up as we get toward Thursday, as the front moisture from Debby starts coming up this way. So temperatures, obviously, will be a lot cooler tomorrow. We're going to struggle to reach 70 degrees. It's going to be a very, very cool day, a very different feeling day compared to the way it's been with all the heat that we've been dealing with. It's actually going to feel pretty nice out. And then staying in the 60s overnight. Obviously, still where I live, I'm still going to have to run the air conditioner. Yeah. But you'll see Thursday also struggling to reach 70. It won't be that warm because we're going to have no sunshine. It'll be gray and cloudy. And Again, scattered showers around. And then we'll go to the GFS there, dew points and wind flow here. So as we go beyond that, here we are Wednesday. You can see the moistening up the atmosphere. Strong southerly flow on Friday. Ahead of again on the right side of Debby, we may have some coastal flooding issues with those winds. We're gonna have to look at that as well. And then you see what happens Saturday. That front comes through and the dew points drop, and a much better air mass as we get towards Sunday. Temperatures, you'll see what happens. The temperatures obviously drop and say goodbye to the heat. Maybe it tries to warm up a little bit on Friday with that southerly flow, and then here we are. Say goodbye to the heat. We're in the 70s after this is done. So let me go to the skies. Obviously, just to show you, we're going to be stuck in the clouds, obviously. So see, we're not losing these clouds at all well, the Euro's a little faster with getting rid. Let's look at the RGM. That's our higher resolution cloud model. And you'll see tomorrow we're stuck in the clouds. It's stuck in the clouds for Thursday, and then Friday as well. We'll have plenty of clouds around on this RGM model as well. Let's go to the NAM next. Let's look at the NAM 12 here. We'll go with the 18Z NAM 12 because it goes out a little further than some of the other models. So you see what happens. Tomorrow tries to develop some more showers over us tomorrow night. And then, actually, no, that's Thursday. No, this is Wednesday. Yeah, it does try to, and then Thursday, you'll see it does have some scattered showers around too. But you notice the heaviest of the rain on Friday winds up going off to the west. But there could still be some strong winds. You notice those isobars. So let's look at the 850 winds. This is kind of look for an LLJ kind of deal here. I don't see anything too crazy with the winds. There's one area where we have some strong winds. Let's look at the surface winds here. Nothing crazy. Maybe a wind advisory might be needed, but I don't see it. So, yeah, let me go to Ventu Sky, and I'll visualize this as well with the wind factors. Let's go into Friday here. All right, so we have that strong southerly wind. Let's go to wind gusts. Yeah, nothing crazy. Nothing insane. Doesn't look like we'll have anything too insane with the wind. You can go to the windy.com site as well, which uses the European. I got this. Gusts. Friday. This is the European. European's always a little more intense with the wind. The European has the winds gusting pretty up to close to 50 miles an hour on Friday night. So European definitely brings us worse winds with that front. And, we'll have to watch out for the possibility of some strong winds with this system, especially because it's tracking to the left. So usually what happens is the rain is on the center of the track with the remnants and even the left, and on the right side we have the winds more. So if we look at waves here, we definitely would see some issues. The European suggests definitely some issues overnight, up to 15-foot waves perhaps. We will have to watch. There's a whole bunch of things going on. But that's going to wrap things up, I think. We'll just look at the climate reports for today, I guess. They're not going to show all the rainfall, though. Maybe they will. Ice slip. Record for the day. The 2.21 is a record rainfall for the day. Month to date, we've had 3.35 inches, well above normal. So we're making up for that driest July. High of 84, low of 73. Still 4 degrees above normal there. Central Park hit 90, so it did hit 90 at Central Park again. A low of 77, and no rain reported over there. 7 degrees above normal there. Newark hit 94, and the low is only 78, 8 degrees above normal, and it's not showing any rain at Newark, which is kind of surprising. So Newark didn't get any rain as of 4:30 when they took this report. That's really interesting. So it's interesting how some areas didn't get anything, and then look at Bridgeport. just a trace of rain being reported there. Really interesting. Very, depending on where you were, it made a big difference. So, anyway, that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather update. A lot to talk about as we continue to watch. Now we watch the remnants of Debby, and hopefully we can push the stall front south enough for us to have at least a day where it's dry more than half the time of the day. So we'll have to see. It all depends on where that front winds up. It's really hard to predict, but we shouldn't have any crazy rains or storms tomorrow. It'll just be dreary. So, have a good night.